Grappler podcast. I'm here with really excited to have Cam Amine on with me today. Cam, you just got back from California. You had a long weekend, but everybody probably already knows who you are. In case anyone who doesn't know you, two-time All-American at Michigan. You also graduated from Detroit Catholic Central. You were a three-time state champ in high school, and you were one of the top recruits coming out. Went to Michigan along with other family members, kind of followed in line. And like I said, two-time All-American. You're currently ranked around 5th in the country, kind of depending on what ranking you're looking at. But really excited to have you on, and hopefully you got some rest and you're feeling rested from the trip back.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Before we get into it too much, I want to quickly plug our jersey tees. So you're one of the main guys that I've got lined up. We're doing these Michigan Grappler jersey tees. So anyone who hasn't seen them yet, go to Michigan. Go to Michigan Grappler. We had to. You're very well liked. We sold out like most of the sizes, so we had to do a reorder. So
there we go. That's a good sign.
Yeah, no, you're the man. So anyway, so we got more of them. It's all in stock now. So people can go to michigangrappler.com and get some of your shirts. And it's pretty cool. Like I was at the Michigan State match on Friday last week. It was alumni night for Michigan State. So and there were a couple MSU guys that we did the jersey tee with too. And hopefully it happens, this week, because you guys have your home opener on Sunday. So hopefully you see like kids walking around with your shirt on. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be sweet.
Yeah,
and I definitely got some family members. You're gonna be rocking it. So
I'm thoroughly expecting to see your dad in a jersey.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Front row on the Big Ten Network.
Literally.
All right, so let's get into last weekend. So you guys were in California. It was your first time in a dual meet because you were hurt. So first time in dual meet, and you're the team's first time competing in the new year. You guys just crushed Cal Poly and Cal State Bakersfield. Talk about the performance team-wise, and from you, how did it feel to be back?
For me personally, it felt good to be back. It was a rough start, just getting back into it. It's been about 8 months since I wrestled a live match, so just getting those rusty screws and bolts out. Other than that, it felt pretty good to be back. Felt in shape. Felt good wrestling. Felt strong. Felt good in a lot of positions. And then as a team, it felt good to be back with the team as well. Yeah. And it's always fun scrapping with them, scrapping with Mason, Will, Dylan, all the guys on the team. We got Matt Finesilver now.
In terms of you, for the way you competed last weekend, I was able to watch your match on Friday. I was unable to get the live feed on Sunday, but you wrestled Legend Lamer on Friday. How many Lamers are there?
I think there's 5. They have an older one.
Are they all brothers?
Yeah, they're all brothers.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like, kind of like you and my, I was like cousins or what.
No, they're all brothers. The older one though ran, I think he ran track.
Okay.
Wrestle, and then the rest they ran track, but also wrestled.
So you wrestled Legend Lamer. Chance Lamer is your teammate.
Yep.
Is there any like awkwardness that you were like wrestling his brother or anything?
No. I've met them all before. I mean, I'm close with Chance. Me and Chance work out all the time, partners a lot. I mean, I was warming up with Chance right before I wrestled his brother. So
that's crazy. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
No, I mean, I thought you looked good. You probably would have liked to score more points, but I thought you looked pretty good watching you. I mean, to be honest, I know you got I see on social media, you do a lot of like strength training stuff. You look big, I thought. Do you feel bigger this year or stronger, I should say?
Yeah, I definitely feel stronger. I've been doing a lot of, like you said, a lot of like one-on-ones with Amir Rod. He's out of Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's got like a lot of like technique with just lifting. So it's like I do a lot of lifting, but it's like having your shoulders in the right position. It's like strengthening those muscles that I've never strengthened before. So I'm starting to get a lot stronger just doing those the right way.
Yeah. No, you look, like I said, you looked really good.
Thank you.
You've been off for, like you said, about 8 months. How do you feel health-wise? Obviously you're getting ready for the big stretch here. So how do you feel where you're at right now?
I feel good right now. Obviously, wrestling-wise, I think it's still got a little bit of rust to kick off still, but I think that's going to come over time. But it's good to be back. My body feels good. I was telling Coach Trell this the other day. I said, this is the first time ever in the last 2 years that I've gone into Big Ten season, and it's like my body feels good.
Yeah. Well,
It's
yeah.
not beat up. It's fresh. It's ready to go. Kind of
Yeah,
like
it's got to be one of the positives, kind of. I mean, no one wants to be hurt, but that you're fresh. You didn't have 20 matches to start the year,
exactly,
so
exactly. So
very
it's,
cool.
it's blessing in disguise, kind of in that
Yeah,
sense.
everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
Um, so last year, I want to rewind a little bit, just because I don't think I interviewed you last year, like after your like first or second match at nationals, but I don't think I ever caught up with you again after the tournament. So I kind of want to reflect a little bit on NCAAs last year.
Yeah.
You had a great performance. It was in Detroit. You took fourth. What I'm really curious, oh, and you beat Alex Marinelli in an awesome match. It was one of the, just being in Detroit, like everyone
Yeah.
went nuts. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Um, but I wanted to ask, like, what was it like, being in Michigan, like having NCAAs in Michigan? Your first year, if I think I have this right, your freshman year was the COVID year, right? Like, or the year back after COVID, where there was like no fans
So yeah, my first year is in St. Louis.
and it was dead, like nobody
And
there.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
it was
So you
like
went from that to like
to everyone.
to
Yeah.
Little Caesars last year. So I guess what was that like? I mean, now that it's over, because I know in the moment you were like, oh, it's just a wrestling match, like
Yep. Yep.
it had to feel a little different, right?
Oh yeah, it definitely was. It was like you were at home, obviously,
Yeah.
and it felt like you knew most of the crowd though.
Yeah.
Like you knew like all these fans, a lot of them are there for Michigan
Yeah.
or for yourself. So it was definitely like a different experience, especially from that first year, that COVID year, where there wasn't a lot, which I remember I could hear my dad, he was sitting all the way up at the top. I could hear him from all the way up at the top that COVID year. You can tell there wasn't a lot, but he is loud though.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, then last year, obviously being home, it was pretty awesome
Yeah.
having that, like just being in your pretty much you're at home there. So
Yeah. It had, I
it's
mean,
hard.
it was cool to watch. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just watch, like when you won that match, it was sweet. So
Thank you.
that was like what, the third time you had wrestled Marinelli?
Yep. Third time.
So you got over the hump and you beat him. You lost the first two times. Um, did you make any adjustments? Like what was different?
I think what was different was I dealt with the hand fight. I talked to Coach Jackson a lot about that. He said you just got to deal with that hand fight, and most guys won't keep it the whole time. You just got to be able to deal with it, and then you can start doing your stuff. And I dealt with it the right way. The first two times I wrestled him, I lost off riding time, and then the second time was a stall call at Big Tens for prior to 2 weeks
Yeah.
before that one. Um, and those two times you go back and watch the matches, which I did. It was like I kind of dealt with the hand fight, but not really. And then this time I dealt with it. The refs kind of were like, hey, listen, you gotta stop pushing, is what they told him. So he couldn't get away with just the underhook push stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And it forced him to kind of open up and have to wrestle a little bit and not
Yeah.
just play a push and shove match.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it was like I said, it was a great match.
Thank
It was
you.
really cool. And yeah, I mean, to beat someone like that, in that setting. And yeah, anyways, we'll move
That's
on.
fun.
It was cool.
That's
Yeah. And
fun.
you're going to kind of get to redo it a little bit this year because, I mean, it's not the same thing, but Big Tens
Yeah.
are at Michigan this year. So
Yeah.
you get kind of a hometown crowd for that this year.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That too.
Um, so before Christmas, you wrestled once, I think at the Cleveland State Open. You
Yep.
took, you took a loss to Ohio State kid. I
Yep.
didn't see film. I don't know if it was even on film. I guess what happened there. What did you learn from it? And
Yeah.
give me a recap.
I think that was just more of just like I said, like the rust, just not being in it for like I said, 8 months. So it definitely was like in a lot of areas I felt it. Went back and watched the match and it was just like sloppy in some areas, just like you can tell I haven't wrestled in those areas in a while and gave up some dumb points on bottom, got to get away with the leg in. So I've been working on that. I acted like I didn't know how to do it, and then I figured it out eventually in the room. And everything's just starting to come back a little bit slowly, but it's getting there. And Yeah, so that match was a hard one to watch when I
Yeah.
went and rewatched it. It's just a lot of mistakes, but it's early in the season. Everyone takes a loss here and there. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I look back like last year and beginning of the year, I think you had a couple matches like that too,
yep,
so something that hopefully, you can learn from and move on, right?
exactly.
Um, so this year, kind of I feel like for you, and I mean, you could fill me in more, but it feels like it's a big change for you in terms of it's your first year with no team, with no family members on the team,
Yep,
right? So you're the only Amine on the team, and
yep,
it's also a big transition. Just at least on paper, it looks like where you've been like one of the younger guys on the team, full of upperclassmen. You had
yeah.
Logan Massa and
Miles, Stedman,
Miles, Stevan. Yeah, I mean, you had guys that were literally 30, on your
I swear.
team. So
That's the average. The average age was like 24.
yeah. So now all these guys are gone, and you're one of them. You and Mason, this guys you mentioned earlier, Mason, Will, Dylan. You guys are kind of like the guys now. Does it feel different? Like going kind of making that transition.
Yeah, it definitely does. I was just thinking about that as the season was starting. I was like, man, it's gonna be weird without like having Miles kind of like on the
Yeah.
traveling with them, wrestling with them. I mean, me and him used to warm up together, used to talk to him about things, and it was just like, we'll see how it is. But I mean, it's weird, it's different, but I still get to talk to him, obviously, text, call. So it's that's still there, but definitely is a little different now that I am like the upperclassman on the team and I have to kind of fill that role that of being like a leader, captain, and making sure everything gets done the right way and stuff like that. So
Yeah. This probably feels like you're back in high school again now.
yeah, exactly. Yep. Back in high school.
Um, this week you got your Big Ten season starts this week. You got a big opener really for you. You got Michigan State on Friday
Yep.
at Michigan State, which is always, a rivalry duel. And, obviously a lot of people in Michigan are going to be there.
Yep.
And then you've got Sunday, hopefully, I mean, if everybody's in the lineup, you should have Dean Hamidi from Wisconsin, right? So you wrestled Hamidi last year. You beat him in a close match in the concies at NCAAs to get in for
Yep.
third, fourth. So what's your, obviously you just got back from California, 2 matches. So you guys are probably recovering today. Today's Monday.
Yep.
But what's the preparation and the approach, heading into this weekend?
I mean, heading into the weekend, obviously, just keeping your mind clear, keep my weight down, make sure I feel good, feel healthy, staying out of injuries, obviously, staying loose, but just going in and wrestling. I figured out that I kind of wrestle the best when I just go out there and just do me, not a lot of thinking, just think about scoring the next point is what I always tell myself when I'm in those matches. And when I start doing that, it all starts kind of clicking together, and that's what NCAAs last year. That's all I told myself. And obviously, I wanted to score a lot more points, but it was always just score the next point, no matter if it's a takedown, escape, something like that. So definitely, definitely excited though for this weekend. I think I always love wrestling. Dean, I wrestled him once, but he wrestles hard, and I like it. Like that, someone who likes to wrestle.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a one to get the popcorn for.
Yeah,
Should be a good match.
exactly. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So what time do you guys wrestle Sunday? I don't have it pulled up right now. Is it 6 o'clock duel?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think it's 6 o'clock duel.
Check
So
it out.
anyone who, yeah, it's a good one to get out to, home opener, and there will be a lot of other good matchups too, including Trent Hilger, Michigan guy, will be in town to
Yep.
wrestle Mason Paris. So, anyways, yeah, good luck with that this weekend.
Thank you. Thank
Should
you.
be a good start. Now, I mean, like you just talked about, you got to take it, one point at a time or one match at a time. I feel like that's probably, you got to keep that going for the whole month, right? Because you got
Yeah.
and season. I mean, I'm going to go through it in a second, but your whole season, it's like every week you've got another match or two tough matches every weekend. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
is that kind of what you do the whole week, the whole season is just try to take it one match at a time?
Yeah. You got to. I think it's just as a Big Ten and how the Big Ten is. It's a brutal schedule. Everyone's pretty good in the Big Ten. It's no matter who you're wrestling or where you're wrestling, you're always going to wrestle someone that is tough, someone that wants to wrestle. Obviously they're here for a reason. They chose the Big Ten for a reason. So I mean, it's like taking it one match at a time, like I said, and just scoring the next point. So that's how I approach it.
What this isn't on my list of things to talk about. I just kind of thought about it, but what's the dynamic like with you guys have a pretty unbelievable coaching staff.
Yeah,
Kind of like it seems like every year there's like a new announcement of like a new coach. And I'm always like,
yep,
no one left. You know what I mean? Like, well, Kellen,
exactly.
but I mean, it's like, like we just keep adding more coaches. So you guys have unbelievable staff now with, you obviously got Coach Bourmet as head coach, but then you got, Trella, you got Dave Boyard. You just got added Kevin Jackson last year. And I think recently you guys just announced Deeringer is officially on staff now. And then with the Cliff Keen Wrestling Club, you got a dozen other people,
So, yeah, it's a lot.
That environment, like, what's that do for you guys, as a team?
That's just, I mean, with the RTC and how RTC is with those guys just being in there and how good they are, it takes our college level wrestling to the next level.
Yeah.
I mean, I get to work out with Ringer when he's obviously he's had surgery, but he's coming back now. But working out with him every day, I mean, this guy's a 3-time national champ, Hodge Trophy winner. He's one of the most dominant wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
And then go to Miles, another guy that's, I mean, he was a dominant wrestler. He's one of the best out of Michigan to do it, one of the best in college ever to do it. Like, it's just, it's insane to think about that and just to know that that's there for you. And as a college wrestler and having that, and it's just like, you got to learn to appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pick their brains apart and use them and get better. I mean, and they all want you to get, they all want, like for Ringer, like when he knows it's my time to get better, he puts in the time with me to make sure I get better. He sacrifices some of his time to make sure I get better. And it's just like having guys like that it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine you got, most college programs that have like one guy like that, is like around you is awesome. Like that's your guy. And that's
Exactly.
kind of what, like, I can't even imagine to have 5 guys like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Kevin
great.
Jackson. Kevin Jackson's one of the greatest American
Yeah,
freestyle wrestlers of all time. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable.
exactly. It's awesome, man. And then you got like Pantaleos in there too. And
Yeah.
it's just like then you get Malik and he gives you that weird little feel he's got. And it's just like it literally has everything you need it's in that room. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah. It seems like a really cool environment. Just random, but have you figured out how to stop Deeringer's dump yet? His little dump?
There's sometimes I might stop one or two, but he's gonna eventually get it. He gets it every
You
time.
can't. He did a clinic at Brighton a few years ago, and
Yeah.
it was like right out of college. And I mean, I've never wrestled against him, but based on
Yep.
the way he explained it, I don't know how you stop it, because
You can't.
if you come inside, he'll go post high crotch.
That's the thing. It's like I can sometimes stop it, but then it's like, all right, he's on to the next move and he's already on my leg. And it's just like, dude.
When you wrestle him, is it like, does he pull the armpit hair out of you? Like,
Yep.
I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
he's got like a
His
claw.
grip
Yeah,
strength. He grabs right here. And it's just like
unbelievable. If you'd have told me 10 years ago that someone will be one of the best wrestlers in the world with a short dump, I would have been like,
you're
you know,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, like
Literally.
figured it out.
His grip strength is insane. The way he grabs it is, I don't
Yeah.
even know how he does it. I've
He
tried it.
seems like freakishly athletic too.
Yeah.
Like, just he can do some things that are unreal.
Yeah.
All right. So rest of the season, you got a few big things coming up. I'm gonna go through a few things that stand out to me, kind of get your quick hits on it. So this weekend we already talked about. Next weekend, you guys are at Penn State, which in itself is a big duel. They beat them at Big Tens last year, and then they beat you guys at NCAAs. For you personally, you got Facundo, match that you haven't had since, I think it's been like 4 years since you guys
Yeah,
wrestled.
it's been,
Right?
I
Your
think,
senior year in high school.
senior year. Yep.
So, you looking for, anything, you think it's going to be a lot different wrestling him now than it was 4 years ago? You think you guys have changed a lot?
I mean, I think that obviously, yeah, we've changed since then. I think obviously, be a scrap, embrace it, have fun with it. I mean, it's just another match, right? So it's gonna be fun. I like wrestling him. He likes to wrestle. He's not one of those guys that kind of like freeze up. He likes to wrestle, likes to scrap. So it's always fun wrestling him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, that was like the match of the year 2 years in a row. So
I
now
swear.
we get to see it again. What are the odds? You guys end up the
That's
same way
funny.
in college.
Now we're in college now.
Yeah, they need to have that match at CC high school though, or like
That'd
at
be cool.
Davidson High School. That'd be cool.
That'd be
Maybe
cool.
next year when you guys are the home team, you can figure that out.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. So the week after that, you got Ohio State,
Yep.
which you either got Karchula or I can't remember the other guy's name, the guy who you lost to. So that's a big match. And Michigan Ohio State is also a big match. And I think you guys are home for that, right?
Uh,
You don't even know. I think you are.
yeah, I think we are home. Yeah, we
I could
are.
be wrong. I think that's one you're doing at Chrysler.
Yep, we are.
So that should be a good one. And
Yeah, it'll
then
be fun.
the next week you got this bout at the ballpark. Do you even know anything about this?
Oklahoma State. Yeah, it's in Texas.
In Texas. Yeah, it's
Yep.
bananas. It seems
I
very
know.
strange. But it's cool. I mean, it's a
That was gonna be cool. Yeah.
cool environment, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I haven't wrestled outside yet, but I know they did it. We did it twice this year, which I wasn't back yet. So, but it's definitely gonna be it's a cool environment, cool experience. I was there watching when we wrestled UNC, and then we wrestled Campbell also at the military base.
A Navy boat or whatever, right?
Yeah, and those are pretty cool. I mean, it's just different, and it makes wrestling kind of fun.
For sure. Yeah, I think for you guys too, what stood out to me was like it's in the middle of that Big Ten,
Yep,
monotony of like Friday, Sunday, and then
exactly.
get this like trip to Texas, kind of break it up.
Break.
So,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a cool duel for sure. It's definitely gonna be a cool environment as well.
yeah. And then you come back, you got Iowa at Iowa, which is always
Yep.
fun. And then you guys finish with CMU, and then you got Big Tens in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, it's gonna that it's I was looking at the schedule. It's definitely grind, but it's I need it personally. It's just to get back into
Yeah.
that groove of wrestling.
Yep.
Wrestling tough guys every week. It's just got to get back into it. So it's gonna be a fun month. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's a Big
You've
Ten.
got just like last year, you got a really tough weight class.
Yep.
There's you and like 6 or 7 other guys that are all, kind of you guys are all kind of in the mix.
Yep.
So, as you go through the year, like how do you like you say you just focus on yourself, but do you watch other results at all? Like do you keep track of it or you just try to stay focused on yourself?
I usually just stay focused on it, and now sometimes I'll obviously scroll on social media and just see some things, and maybe I'll check it out there. But majority of the time, I just focus on myself. I mean, it's a long season, so to get playing into the who won this, who won that, that just puts more stress and more wear and tear kind of like on your mind a little bit. Then you're just constantly thinking about it. So I just kind of went away from that. Did that in high school, but now in college, yeah, I've learned to just wrestle, man. It's fun. It's exciting to wrestle. Don't focus on the small things. It's just put more wear and tear on your mind. So
Yeah. All right. Last question. You're in your last, 2 years. You got this year and next year. Are you?
I got one more year too.
I'm gonna say, do you fall into that COVID thing where you get another
Yep.
year? So you
So
got
I
three.
got 5.
Oh,
I got 2 more years after this year.
gosh, nobody ever graduates.
I
All right.
swear.
Well, that kind of negates my question, but I'm still gonna ask it. So,
Yep.
what I was going at is like you're kind of in like the second half of your career. You're in the beginning, it's like the end feels so far away, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of as you get closer to the end. What have you learned just from your first year? Like if you look back to like your first Big Ten match to where where you're at now, I guess what's the biggest thing that, takeaways that you've learned, adjustments that you've made, what's different about you now?
I think the biggest thing now is I've done a lot of that helps this get into it, kind of break it down a little bit is I work with a guy named Jared Spencer. We have him on our team. He's a mental health coach.
Okay.
And so from last year, that's when he first came on, and I just noticed the difference of how I wrestled at the NCAA tournament from my freshman year from last year. It was obviously a big jump. I felt more prepared. My mind was clear. I had a lot of energy. I remember after NCAAs, I was like, let's go. Like, I can wrestle a whole nother tournament right now, put someone in front of me. Like, I don't want to be done. So that definitely was like my biggest thing from that was he's always just preached, just focus on yourself, right? Focus on like scoring the next point. He taught me that. So that's like taking that away was just focus on the small things, kind of not all of a big area that you don't need to focus on. So that was definitely the main thing I took away from freshman year to last year, and kind of going into this year, the same thing. Still working with him. It's he's a blessing. It's just he makes kind of the sport fun. You can enjoy it a lot more, a lot less stress as well. So it's definitely he definitely helps. And then like I said again, I preach it a lot with a lot of things I say. Just have fun with it. Have fun with the sport. I mean, you put yourself here. Jordan Burroughs said it best. He said, everyone gets afraid to wrestle and they're like, oh, why me? Why do I got to be in these matches? And you're in college and stuff. And he's like, well, you guys sacrificed all the stuff to get to where you're at. So you put yourself there. And I was like, I thought about that. I was like, he is right.
Yeah.
I sacrificed a lot to get where I'm at. So why not enjoy it and have fun
Enjoy it.
and live in it?
For
So,
sure. Yeah, that's really good. That's good advice. Well, I'll let you go. You probably got to get some more sleep and get ready to get back to it tomorrow. But
yep.
thanks for jumping on, and congrats on where you're at. I know you're not done. You still got a lot to do, but as someone who I've known you since you were in like sixth grade, and you were just a little tyke running around.
Uh-huh.
And to see, you've grown up to be such a good young man, and and it's awesome to see you kind of where you're at, and it's exciting to see where you might end up. You still got a couple of years, 3 years. Wow, still got a long time left.
A
You're
long
gonna
time
be
left.
older than Miles by the time you
I
get
know, I swear.
But no, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. And yeah, anyone who doesn't have a Cam Amine jersey team, make sure you go
Yeah, make
get
sure
one.
you get one.
Go get one. And yeah, anything else you want to talk about, or anything else you want to say before we jump off?
No, just thank you for having me, obviously, and supporting me
Yeah, no
a
problem. Yeah,
lot.
it was fun talking, and hopefully later in the year, maybe Big Tens or something, we can catch up again, and
So
hopefully by then you'll be ranked number one going to nationals.
exactly, Big Ten champ, going to the Nationals, everything.
All right, cool. Well, thanks a lot, Cam.
Yep.
And yeah, good luck this weekend and the rest of the year.
Thank you.